I made a post on Instagram, and the sentence that I asked followers was, "What are you most proud of?" And I was surprised the number of people that were proud of getting out of a relationship that was fraught with conflict and just feeling bad about themselves, that they were in a rut that they could not get out of, that they were almost like attracted to the rut or the mess rather than getting out. So what keeps us locked in relationships when we know in our gut and our heart they aren't good for us? Well, surprise, there's a lot of reasons people stay in bad relationships, and you may see yourself in one of these reasons, if not more. The first one is there's just a fear of what will happen, the unknown. I think going through the pandemic or going through a terrible storm or having a parent drop dead of a heart attack or anything you can imagine, it's that fear that we don't know if we'll be able to do it alone. And let's face it, life is easier if you have another person. And so we tell ourselves this unrealistic, this fear, this anxiety that we might not make it on our own, and that keeps us locked in. Secondly, a fear of judgment. I mean, what will your family say, especially if they like the person? What will your friends say if they liked hanging out and always thought you guys got along great together? What will other people think if you stayed with this person for more than 3 years with no idea if you were going to get married or what was going on? Or maybe you are married and many people knew for a long time that this wasn't a good relationship, but you lived in it. You became part of the story, and it's part of their memory too. So there is a certain amount of judgment that I can understand why it may keep people in bad relationships. Thirdly, you've invested too much time. There is a real sense of being productive. And okay, I allot this much time to this. This person is my significant other, so I'm investing time. But what if they aren't? What if you invested all this time and the relationship never went anywhere because it didn't have the right ingredients for building a healthy relationship from the very beginning? It's more like you guys were not independent people. You were leaning on each other. So you basically leaned on each other for years and years and years. And now you're waking up. Now you're getting healthier. Now you're seeing what's going on. And this is a sign that many people have come to the idea of is they feel bad about wasting all this time on a relationship they could never make work. Preconceived benefits, or what you believe you might get from this relationship. Well, you do get more invited to parties. You do always have somebody with you. You do, if God forbid you get sick, there is somebody to pick you up. And these things can be important, but are they important enough to keep you locked in a relationship that isn't good for you? Only you can decide that. It's just basically shame, obligation, guilt if you leave. And these emotions are real, whether they're self-manifested or not. They are very real. And when you feel them, it makes a big difference. It does lock you in. And I think a lot of times when we're going through this, it is one of the components. And lastly, but certainly not the one I should, gaze over or just forget about, is people say they love this person. Well, after a certain amount of history, and especially if you are with someone who is abusive or callous, if you came from parents or a family that treated you that way, you are losing a kindred friend, and that is a big deal. And I certainly understand how that can be viable in keeping you stuck. But all of these things aside, what you need to do if you're stuck is this very short plan. Number one, pay attention to how the relationship makes you feel most of the time. When I say most, I'm talking 60% of the time. You need to be clear about how you feel in this relationship. Write it down. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, do you want to be in this same relationship forever? If there was no repercussions or anything negative that would happen, would you get out? That's a clear indicator that this is not a healthy relationship. Build a support system. It's impossible to even think about getting out if you don't have any friends or any support system that you can talk to and you know will be a safe place. And lastly, be loyal to your needs. And I think that's the hardest. Being loyal to ourselves and saying, I am going to go with this. I'm probably going to hear judgments. I'm probably going to feel lonely at times. I'm probably going to be scared. I'm probably going to have something unpredictable happen where I regret it. But I am being loyal to what I need. And what I need right now is a sense of a relationship that's healthy. I'm going to begin with myself, get rid of this appendage or this other person, let them go. And I'm going to start rebuilding again from the inside out.